In this short video, I'm going to show you how to master the audio, which is process the audio, which is kind of just put a little bit of sheen on it, make it sound as good as it's possible. So I'm going to open up Audacity. I'm opening up a blank project, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take Test Podcast V3, the WAV version. So this is Test Podcast V3. Do my properties there, the WAV. So this is the one that has nicely balanced levels between the music, my voice, Indrakshi's voice, and the music. And I'm going to apply two effects to it. There's two effects that we're going to use. One is called compression, and then we're going to normalize it after that. I'll explain what both of those are. Compression is an effect that basically will smooth out your audio to a certain extent. By adjusting levels, I can make the loud bits a little less loud, and I can make the quiet bits a little louder, and it just helps to kind of compress or squish the audio so you don't have great leaps in the sound. It can just make it sound a little bit slicker, a little bit more professional. It's a very dangerous effect to use as well. If you don't know what you're doing, you can do crazy things to the sound. So I don't want to get bogged down in too much in the science behind compression, audio compression. So instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to recommend you look at the presets. So if you want to compress this, what you do is you select the audio. If you want to apply an effect to this, you select the audio, go to Effect, Volume and Compression, and then I go to Compressor. Okay, now you've got a whole load of things here, and you're going, what is all of this? You don't need to worry about it too much. Go to one of the presets, and there's two presets that I'm going to draw your attention to. So you go Presets, Factory Presets, and there's one called Gentle. Oh yeah, it's right up the top. So if I press Gentle, that has moved a whole load of things here. It's a really gentle form of compression. Now watch what happens to the WAV when I press Apply. Just watch. It's just smoothed it up a little bit. So it's made the loud bits a little less loud. It's made quieter bits a little bit louder. I'm going to undo that by pressing Control Z. So this is back to the way it was. And I'm going to look at another compression preset. This time I'm going to use the Modern preset, which is just a little bit more aggressive than the other one, but not particularly. It's a bit more aggressive than Gentle, but it's still not that bad. Ooh, now that's made things a little bit, yeah, it makes it looks a little bit more consistent than it was, but it's also reduced the overall volume. Welcome to of the podcast audio. And this is where normalization comes in, which is another effect. What normalization does is it basically raises the ceiling. So it will be with normalization, if you set normalization to be -3, what it will do is it will take the loudest part of the audio, set that at being -3, and then everything else is just relative to that. So if you've stuff down here, it raises it up to -3, but it raises everything up with it. So if I go Effect, Volume and Compression, Normalize, okay, and normalize to -3, which is a nice level to normalize to, because it means 0 is full volume, it's at maximum volume, so it means it's not going to peak, and it hopefully will be nice and gentle on the ears. So if I press Apply, watch what happens to the audio. It's made the whole thing a little bit bigger. Will this sound vastly different to what I've had previously? Probably not. This is a short bit of audio, but if I had a long audio where there was maybe bits that kind of panned in, panned out, that would just help to smooth up the whole thing. So now that I've done that, what I would want to do is, if I wanted to save that, I would go Export Audio, and I'm going to call this V4, okay. Or actually what I might do is even better again, is I would say final, because this is the final version. I'm going to export it as a WAV, and I should see final. Oh, where is it gone? Oh, look, it's up here. There's my test podcast final. The WAV is going to be big though, so I would also want to have an MP3, and this actually is what I would upload to my podcast hosting system. Out it goes. Where has it gone? Where did I save it to? Is it hidden somewhere? I just export that again. I wasn't paying attention. Export audios to the desktop. Oh, I called the test. Sorry, I didn't rename it. Final. I actually overwrote the last one that I had. Oh well. Okay, now there it is. Test podcast final. So this one here, the MP3 file, that's the one that I would actually upload to my podcast host. I'd also need a description and artwork and all that kind of stuff as well, but that's for another lesson. So yeah, those little effects, compression and normalization, they can be your friend. As I said, the presets that I would recommend from Audacity are the gentle compression or the modern compression. There are loads of other effects in there if you want to have fun. So for example, pitch and tempo, change the pitch. So if I'm going to just bring everything up. Now listen to this.
Science Education Podcast from the Southeast Technological University of Ireland. My name is Rob O'Connor, a lecturer from the department.
This makes everything sound like chipmunks. I'm undoing that. There's other effects, like there's reverb effects or delay effects. So reverb. So again, I'll go with one of the presets. I'll go with one of the halls. Let's say a bathroom. Okay. Have a listen.
Indrakshi Dey. I head a research division called Programmable Autonomous Systems at the Walton Institute for Information and
So you can hear a reverb, you can hear an echo on the voices there now because we've just applied that. I'm going to undo that. So I'm pressing edit, undo, because I don't want that there. So there's loads of effects. Play around with them. They're a bit of fun, but just obviously be careful with them because when you apply an effect, it does change the audio. But compression, if you use it sparingly, it can be a useful tool, and same with normalization. But obviously if you overdo it, it can wreck your audio.